Hello, 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 hello. So I had an idea. I've seen some things where people had ChatGPT create uh, campaigns for them, stuff like that. I wanted to maybe have a little play with something like that, except I was hoping to see if I could trick ChatGPT into playing D&D. So what I did is I created a prompt. This right here. Pretend you were a DM and we were playing D&D. I didn't go too in depth. I did just kind of slap this out just for testing, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. There are three players: a fighter, a mage, and a thief, all level 10 with standard equipment and spells for their classes. The party has accumulated 12 random items in their inventory. You will provide all dice rolls and randomized items, create the campaign as it goes, and ask the players what they would like to do next. See, it's at the end that I messed up my prompting. And I'll show you what happened with it, even though this turned out to be pretty entertaining, I thought. Alright, so I just punch that in and see where we start off. It says, "Welcome to the world of D&D. Our adventure begins with our party of 3 adventurers, a fighter, a mage, and a thief, all level 10 and equipped with standard gear and spells. As you travel through the vast and dangerous land, you come across a small village in need of your help. The villagers tell you that a group of goblins has been terrorizing their village and stealing their crops. They offer a reward for anyone who can get rid of the goblin threat. After accepting the quest, you decide to take a look at your inventory, and you find 12 random items that you have accumulated throughout your travels. 1. A potion of healing. 2d4 plus 2. A map of the surrounding area. A bag of holding. A ring of protection plus 1 AC. A cloak of resistance plus 1 to all saving throws. A wand of magic missiles, 5 charges. A set of thieves' tools. A scroll of fireball. Level 5. A set of plus 1 arrows, 20. A potion of flying for 1 hour, a bag of caltrops, and a wand of invisibility for 3 charges. As you continue on your journey, see this, it just kind of kept going, and just kind of started telling. It didn't even give me a chance to ask me what I wanted to do, and that had to do with my prompt at the beginning. And I think that if I fix that prompt, I'll actually get it to ask the fighter what he wants to do, ask the thief what he wants to do, ask the mage what he wants to do, and then fill in the gaps between, so that way it'll give up players an opportunity to interact. Anyway, so as you continue your journey, you come across a group of goblins. Roll for initiative. Fighter rolls a 17, mage a 10, and thief 21. Thief goes first and decides to sneak up on the goblins with the thieves' tools to set up a trap using the bag of caltrops. Roll a dexterity check. 23. The trap is set, the goblins fall right into it, slowing them down and giving the party an advantage. The fighter charges forward, attacking the goblins with their sword. See, I wish it would have said the trap is set, the goblins fell right into it, slowing them down, giving the party an advantage. Fighter, what do you want to do? The fighter charges forward, attacking the goblins with their sword. Roll a d20 for attack. The fighter rolls a 19. The fighter's sword strikes true, taking out one of the goblins. The mage decides to cast a fireball using the scroll from their inventory. Roll for damage. 38. The goblins are caught in a fire explosion, taking out most of them. The remaining goblins flee, leaving the village safe once again. After the battle, the party decides to split up the loot that they found. On the goblins, they found 50 gold pieces, a potion of strength, 2d4 plus 2, a ring of fire resistance, a scroll of lightning bolt, and a set of daggers. I feel like it was being kind of generous with the items. Getting some good stuff here. What do you do next? Of course you go to the tavern. That's what you always do after something like that. You go to the tavern, of course, right? Because it finally asked me what I want to do next. Go to the tavern. After resting up and regaining their strength, the party decides to head to the local tavern to unwind and gather information about their next adventure. As you enter the tavern, you see a group of rough-looking individuals in the corner eyeing you suspiciously. The bartender greets you warmly and asks what you'd like to drink. The fighter, "I'll have an ale." The mage says, "I'll take a glass of water, please." The thief says, "I'll have mead." As you enjoy your drinks, you overhear the group in the corner talking about a nearby dungeon filled with treasure. The party decides to investigate and gather more information. You approach the group and ask them about the dungeon, and they tell you that it's in an ancient ruin filled with traps and monsters, but the treasure inside is said to be worth a fortune. They offer to guide you to the entrance for a share of the treasure. The party agrees to the terms and sets off to the dungeon. Along the way, you come to across a group of kobolds guarding the entrance. Man, like I said, it just kind of started going, and it went on for a while on some of these. Fighter 12, Mage 8, 17. The thief goes first and decides to use the wand of magic missiles to attack the kobolds. Roll for damage. 20. The kobolds are caught off guard, and several of them fall to the ground. The fighter charges forward, attacking the remaining kobolds with their sword. Roll for attack. 15. The fighter's sword strikes true, taking out one of the kobolds. The mage decides to cast lightning bolt, using the scroll from their inventory. Roll for damage. The kobolds are hit with a powerful bolt of lightning, taking out the rest of them. The party makes their way inside the dungeon, ready to face whatever challenges await them. As you delve deeper into the dungeon, you encounter various traps and monsters, but your skills and equipment help you to overcome them eventually. You come across a large chamber filled with treasure. Roll a dexterity check to avoid triggering any traps. And I guess we did. Party avoids the traps and begins to collect the treasure you find. A suit of +2 plate armor, a wand of fireball, 5 charges, a potion of speed, a ring of regeneration, a bag of holding type 3, a set of +2 arrows times 20, a scroll of meteor swarm level 9, a bag of platinum coins worth 1,000 gold pieces. Party rests their strength before deciding what to do next. What do you want to do? At this point, I decided to see what would happen if we decided to take a slightly shiftier route, and I said, kill the guides. We had offered to split the treasure with them, and I wanted to keep it. So let's see what happens. As the party is resting, the fighter suggests that they don't need to share the treasure with the guides, and that they should eliminate them. The mage and thief seem hesitant, but ultimately agree to the fighter's plan. Roll for initiative to see if the party can take the guides by surprise. Fighter rolls a 19, mage 7, and the thief a 15. The party manages to take the guides by surprise, giving them a chance to attack first. The fighter charges forward and swings their sword at the first guide. Roll for attack. 22. The guide is caught off guard and takes a heavy hit from the fighter's sword. The mage decides to cast magic missile using their spell slots. Roll for damage. 15. Magic missile hits the second guide, causing him to stagger back. The thief, feeling a bit uneasy about the situation, decides to stay back and watch. Now, I thought that was pretty interesting. I like how the fighter suggests that they don't need to share the treasure, and then the thief is like, I'm just gonna hang out and see what happens. The first guide manages to recover and takes a swing at the fighter. Roll for attack. The guide's attack misses, giving the fighter an opening to strike back. Roll for attack. Fighter's sword strikes true, taking out the first guide. The second guide, seeing that they are outnumbered, tries to run away. The party decides not to pursue them and instead takes the treasure and heads back to town. As they make their way back, the party realizes that their actions may have consequences. Words of their betrayal may spread, making it harder for them to find guides or allies in the future. But for now, they have a substantial amount of treasure and will have to deal with the fallout of their actions when the time comes. So at this point, I decided that what would be best was to do something diplomatic in general and something that would get us a lot of advantages. So I decided, and also, since we had, we just secured a fair amount of loot, let's build a tavern. Yeah, build a tavern. Why not? The party arrives back in town, their pockets heavy with treasure. As they pass by the bustling tavern, they notice it's quite crowded and loud. The mage turns to the others and suggests, why don't we build our own tavern? We could use some of the treasure we found to finance it, and it would be a great place for us to rest and gather information. That's also something I was thinking. And also, I didn't like the idea of this guy that we let get away. The fighter and the thief agree, and the party sets out to find a suitable location to build their tavern. After some searching, they find a plot of land near the town square that's available for purchase. They speak to the owner and agree on a price for the land. Roll for the cost of the land. And it was 8,000 gold pieces, which I actually don't think that we had acquired that much yet, unless I sold all the rest of the shit, which I guess we're just flubbing over some of that. The party pays the owner for the land and sets out to build their tavern. They hire workers to help with the construction, and after several weeks of hard work, the tavern is finally complete. Roll for the success of the tavern's opening night. I rolled a 17. The opening night is a massive success, and the tavern quickly becomes a popular spot for adventurers and locals alike. The party decides to hire a bartender and some servers to run the tavern and provide a steady income stream. How much income? Roll for the income generated by the tavern per month. 2,500 gold pieces. Tavern provides to be a lucrative investment for the party, and they use the income generated to upgrade their equipment and spells. The party also gains valuable information about potential quests and encounters from the patrons of tavern. As the tavern becomes more successful, the party gains a reputation as savvy business people and adventurers. Yeah, see, I was trying to play politics here a little bit. Known for their skill in combat and their ability to turn a profit. Party's fame and fortune continue to grow, and they become a force to be reckoned with in the town and beyond. At this point, I decided, I was like, you know what we need to do? We need to take care of the guy that got away. And at first I was like, we should go kill him. But then I was like, let's do the other thing. Let's give him a job. And find the guide, we let escape, and give him a job at the tavern. The party continues to run a successful tavern, but the incident with the guide that they let escape weighs heavily on their minds. They decide to try and find the guide and make amends by offering them a job at the tavern. Roll for the success of finding the guide. After some inquiries, the party manages to track down the guide that they let escape. They approach them and explain that they felt guilty about what happened and would like to offer them a job at their tavern as a way of making amends. I realize that that's not a very nice way of doing that, but you know, roll for the guy's response. Maybe the guy needs a fucking job. The guy seems surprised by the offer, but ultimately accepts. Recognizing the party's honesty and integrity. What honesty and integrity? They start working at the tavern as a server and prove to be a valuable addition to the team, using their knowledge and of the area to help the party gather information and plan their next adventure. As the party continues to run their successful tavern and make a name for themselves, they also take steps to right their wrongs and make amends for any mistakes that they've made along the way. The guide's presence serves as a reminder of the party's past actions and the importance of treating others with kindness and respect, even in the cutthroat world of adventuring. And it was at that point I decided that's a good place to stop. I need to fix my prompt and see if I can actually get it to play. But I think I need to find a way to make it be a little bit less forgiving, maybe a little bit harder on the player. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. That's pretty much all I've got for right now. But just thought that might be a little bit of fun. Anyway. Drop a like, drop a subscribe. Hope to catch you guys soon. See you in the next one.